Why did y'all play in my girl Rachel Riley's face like that? And could we have not just had either an all returnee season or an all new season? Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Love Island USA Season 8. Big Brother Season 28, Episode 1. We are reacting to the season premiere, you guys. And I just have a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? That is an hour and a half of my life I cannot get back, y'all. This is why I keep up with the live feeds, because I feel like these episodes are a goof troop, are a hot mess express, or are just throwing anything against the wall and seeing what sticks. I was just of confusion. There was more cameos on the episode than there was the actual contestants that are competing for this money. So, typical Big Brother fashion for the premiere, you know what I'm saying? I did a reaction video to the first reveal of the house guests, and so they did like a more detailed and animated introduction to these house guests. I was very impressed with Latrice. I believe she says she owns a boutique or something on the Upper East Side of New York. Yes, ma'am. Right? But outside of that, I was not really interested in really of these other house guests and their intros. I wanted to get to the competition, right? So Julie Chen has this whole elaborate introduction where she has the girl standing first, then she has the men standing with them, and then tries to, you know, be strategic on who can go in first in like groups of 4 and 5 and stuff, right? And so immediately I peeped that there was only 14 house guests, right? Which I peeped when I did the intro the other day, right? And so ultimately what is happening is, you know, everybody's excited to meet each other. You know, there's some interesting potential early alliances that are forming. Everybody's enamored with the house. Everybody's enamored with this time theme and everything else that's taking place, right? So Julie lets the house guests know, listen, I need y'all to gather around in the living room. I got an announcement to make, right? Nobody in this house is going to be HOH. What? Oh, H-double-L, no? What do you mean? I auditioned for this show. I submitted my tape, and I am not in, you know, contention to be the first HOH. Oh, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. She said nobody currently in this house. And she said there are still going to be some more people that are coming into this house, which basically told me that the returnees have basically a guaranteed week of safety for basically doing nothing but being a returnee. No. Listen, I feel like the show is twisted out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the show is twisted out. Like what are we doing, right? So Julie said since none of the house guests, none of the 14 house guests that are there are able to become HOH, what they have to do is participate in a competition to guarantee their safety. And what happens, they all have to go around at the kitchen table, which is, you know, I guess a Lazy Susan / timetable thing. It's not a real timetable. All they're doing is just going out to the backyard or wherever the challenges are. However, we got an appearance from Enzo. We got an appearance from Enzo in some meow meow industries. Basically, they gotta get these tubes that add up to the number that's on his jacket, and there's only 12 available out of the 14 house guests that are there. There are 3 separate challenges that the people have to participate in that are going to be time travel related challenges, and whoever wins the challenge, they have to deliver a letter to, you know, basically give to the returnee that's going to be able to come into the house, right? So the first one was a time travel, and then there's 4 participants each, right? So everybody's running around the house. The only 2 people who were not able to get these tubes into, you know, one of the 12 slots, because it had to correctly add up the number or you got, you know, rejected, was the super tall, weird Al Yankovic looking guy, and also the tall girl with the dark hair that I still do not know what her personality is. And everybody else had an opportunity, right? So the first challenge is an 80s themed challenge, And what you had to do was balance, the different 80s type of stuff, whether it's like the big cell phone, the big lunchbox, the Rubik's Cube, and all of these things. You have like 3 layers and you have to balance like these items on there. And what happens is, even if you're able to balance it and you hit the red dot that you're complete, you still have to wait 10 seconds to make sure that they do not fall, right? And so it was interesting because the MMA fighter, I thought he had it in the back. He was the first to get his done, except for when he had the timer go down. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? It didn't last. You know what I'm saying? All his stuff fell. I was rooting for Latrice, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, she just couldn't make it work. She couldn't make it happen. She couldn't make it go. So then it looks like Rome goes, right? He's the next one to submit after some time has passed. His, balancing act of all the items, and he had to still do the countdown of 10 seconds. And ultimately, he won. Ultimately, he won the challenge. He won safety for the week, right? And once he was announced the winner, I had a feeling, I said to myself, watch all of the men win the challenge. Watch all the men win all the challenges, because that's what Big Brother wants, especially this first week. No men to go home, right? So next we get into the next challenge, the next throwback year, right? So the next throwback year is like this. It looks like you had to create planks. It was like a maze, but you had only 2 planks, and you had to create your own maze to the finish line to secure yourself safety. However, some of the planks, some of the way that this maze was, can lead to a DEADN. And ultimately, for that one, Chuck won that challenge, right? Then the final challenge was also a time travel one as well. And it was about a Big Brother, alum that is from Las Vegas or whatever else. And so they had like a challenge where they had to play audio of somebody saying stories of like popular drinks like Bahama Mama and stuff. And there was a buzzer of the 4 contestants that had to say, had to buzz in the quickest. So they all got the answers correct. However, you got slimed if you were the last person to buzz in your answer, right? So unfortunately, Lyric did not do well in this one. Yash didn't do well in this one. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, it was Jason from Drag Race that won this challenge. Now, let's get into who the former players are that came in here, right? So I was immediately ticked off when I saw Angela. I'm not going to hold y'all. I was immediately ticked when I saw Angela because I was like, why is she here? Why is she here? And it's not even the fact that, it's just been a couple of seasons or whatever the case may be, and bam, she's back. It was just all of the shenanigans that we were put through. The crash out behavior, her weird obsession and hatred of Chelsea. And then, of course, they chose the memorable clip of her calling Matt crazy eyes and doing all those facial expressions. And I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't featuring it. I just felt like a lot of her behavior was childish and unnecessary. And for all intents and purposes, the Angela fans made it seem like she was going to be this big deal. And she absolutely was not. She absolutely was not. Y'all talked like she was going to be on Housewives of, Salt Lake City and stuff. And that didn't happen for her. So she had to come back all the way back to Big Brother. So she comes back, everybody's so excited to see her and everything else. And I'm just over it, right? I am just over all of it, right? And so she comes through, right? So then after the second challenge, we get a Survivor and we get a Jeff Probst appearance. We get an appearance by Jeff Probst, who is the host of Survivor. Now, I'm not going to hold y'all. I used to be a huge fan of Survivor. I used to love Survivor Dion. I used to watch every season. But Neo, I'm kind of in and out on Survivor. So I was trying to remember if I even knew who this person was or not. Because I remember there being a Devins, but I don't remember if I've seen this Devins. So I was still of confusion. But it was so funny to me because immediately, you know what I'm saying, when Devins was spotted, when Devins was spotted, y'all, why did the drag race gentleman pull somebody to a side? I believe he pulled Lyric aside or somebody and was like, don't trust him. And I think already, when Angela got in there, Latrice was like, good, this is somebody we could target. This is somebody we can get out. But because here's the logic, right? Here's the logic. You are competing against hundreds and thousands of people across the country to be on this show. My first thought as a gamer is I really don't want any returnees in my cast because potentially they can form their own alliance, form their own crew of people who are fans of them, and I'm a target if I'm not a part of that crew. If I don't win anything, I am potentially up for elimination. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying? Some of these people might be fans of Angela, might be Survivor fans, and fall for the nonsense. So the third house guest that comes in, and I didn't know this was going to happen, was my girl, Rachel Riley. My girl, Rachel Riley, was back on the show, and I was like, okay, because I wasn't feeling the cast too much. And maybe this is why they have 3 returnees, is because maybe the OG cast is not hitting like that. Maybe there's like a couple people to root for, but the rest of the personalities are bland, but we really don't know because we don't get live feeds until tonight. Until tonight, we get the live feeds, right? So I'm so stoked for Rachel Riley. You know what I'm saying? And Julie comes back on the screen and is like, listen, you know, Rachel, with the last way you went out, you know what I'm saying? Last season, it wasn't cool. But then Rachel kept doing all this talking that I'm the queen. Nobody can take down the queen. If you take a shot, you better not miss at me. And I felt like this was kind of like foreshadowing because I didn't have a good feeling about this at all. So they have another time travel where everybody has to dress in prehistoric gear. And basically everybody looked like the Flintstones. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looked like Yabba Dabba Doo. And so what happened was Angela, Survivor Person, and Rachel Riley all have to compete for HOH, while everybody else, all the other house guests, has to dress as the Flintstones as well and watch on. No. I guess to be a part of the theme. But what was interesting was that there was no explanation of what the HOH challenge was, what it entailed. All I know is this dinosaur-looking thing comes at Rachel Riley, is attacking Rachel Riley, is zoned in on Rachel Riley to the point that she walks all the way up to this volcano and falls in. And I'm like, is this scripted? Is this for real, for real? Was this Rachel Riley's appearance? Did she know that this was going to happen? So Julie confirms that Rachel Riley is officially out of the game. No. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, why do y'all play in my face like this? You know what I'm saying? I would have told everybody to watch this season if Rachel Riley was there. But this is how you do Rachel Riley. Now I just think production just likes making a fool out of her. And just playing in her face like this. Because it's not cool. So I am behind as far as, I don't know who won HOH because unfortunately the episode ended. Julie went inside the Big Brother house since everybody else is outside or whatever the case may be. And she went in to go to the Lazy Susan time travel to give us a year. I'm assuming and presuming that's a clue of whoever the replacement returnee is going to be for, the HOH competition. But I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry anymore. Y'all took away my appetite with Rachel Riley just getting dumped and discarded aside like that. So I guess tonight, and they're really trying to push us to watch BB Unlocked, which I have zero desire to watch. I have zero desire to, sit through. But unfortunately, this may be the only way that we can find out more about who is going to be the replacement for the HOH competition. And then after that, tonight is when we get the live feed. So I am going to be sad for these live feeds because I want to know what's going on. I have no idea what is going on. And so then as well, there apparently is going to be America Vote. So we've got an America Vote that is going to start, or whatever the case may be, starting tonight, and it's called for the BB capsule, and it's going to run for 6 weeks, and all this and all of that. So we'll see what happens with that being, in all the things. But I'm still pissed off about my girl. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is with the live feed, so you can either watch on Paramount Plus for free, not for free, with a subscription, but on Pluto TV is for free, but it has ads. And I believe it has a delay. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Or if you have special services, you can watch the 24/7 Big Brother live feeds on other means that is not Paramount Plus or on Pluto. But that's another. You know what I'm saying? Not too much on that, right? Not too much on that. That was the episode. I guess Rachel has since tweeted that it was a surprise that they thought she was playing, that she had just made an all-girls alliance in a final 2, and they had no idea. So I don't know if that's going to be on Unlocked or not. But I guess the checks, you know what I'm saying? I guess the check cleared for Rachel Riley, but don't play in my face like that again, because I wanted her to actually play this season. So Angela really is playing, and, you know, the Survivor person really is playing. The Drag Race person already called out and said, do not trust them. Do not trust them, period. But apparently there's a vote, and it's going to take place for the next 6 weeks. I don't know if they give them a power, or if it means that they get safety, or whatever the case may be, but I have no clue on who... You know what I'm saying? I have no clue who the HOH is. I have no clue who the targets are going to be. I have no clue on the conversations or any potential alliances, because I hate that Big Brother has done this to where, you know what I'm saying? In recent seasons, we would get the live feeds like right after the show aired, right after the premiere, so we could get in. So I feel like we've just missed so much time. We've missed so much game time and everything else, and that sucks. So, nonetheless, that's it for this video. Do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There's that. That is it. That is all. It's todos es final. It's finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.